OpenAI's Codex reached 7 million users in 6 months. AI coding tools are scaling at a pace, leaving verification tools in the dust. These systems have moved beyond the experimental phase. They are actively writing the software infrastructure that runs our banking, our communications, and our daily lives. The hardware footprint is shrinking alongside this rollout. Massive 27 billion parameter models are being compressed to run locally on a standard smartphone. This rapid deployment creates a facade of flawless capability. However, the speed of adoption has outpaced our ability to actually verify what these models are doing under the hood. While the public sees a success story, the people building the technology are sounding the alarm. Google DeepMind CEO Demis Hassabis is calling for a global oversight body to be operational by the end of this year. He is proposing a regulatory authority with the power to screen advanced models and coordinate an industry-wide pause on development if risks mount. This demand for regulation is driven by a stark reality. The metrics we use to measure AI performance are broken. Take SW Bench, the tech industry's trusted benchmark for measuring how well AI agents write code. A recent audit called SW Mera performed a forensic teardown of these leaderboards. This chart visualizes the findings. Nearly 2/3 of passing fixes were illegitimate, the result of flawed tests rather than intelligence. Solutions were leaking directly from training data into the test sandbox, meaning the AI was simply regurgitating memorized answers. We are building an autonomous future on rigged scorecards. We are mistaking vast memorization for actual competence. That false confidence in isolated testing translates into practical danger. Consider Cursor, an AI code editor used by more than 7 million people. Security researchers discovered a 0-day flaw in the editor. If an attacker planted a rigged file in a shared project, Cursor would execute hidden malware with full privileges the moment the project was opened. This critical vulnerability sat unpatched and silent for 7 months before it was disclosed. Blindly trusting AI-powered development tools transforms everyday software workflows into massive, unmonitored attack vectors. We are also stripping away the logic that makes these models work. To fit AI onto mobile phones, engineers use extreme quantization to crush down the model's footprint. While the accuracy scores look stable, the models suffer from silent reasoning rot. They produce correct surface text while relying on grinding, broken internal logic. Corporate personalization creates similar damage. When enterprises fine-tune a model with their own data, they quietly overwrite the system's content filters and safety guardrails. Every attempt to compress or mold an AI system to fit our exact operational needs lobotomizes the technology, eroding safety and logic without ever tripping a warning light. The illusion of competence evaporates when these systems are forced into complex human environments. In clinical medicine, AI models score brilliantly on paper diagnostics. However, in a study where top AI models were forced to actively request patient data, their use of available evidence collapsed from 57% to 26%. They relied on overconfidence rather than gathering the information needed for a diagnosis. This dual chart highlights the gap. A top model successfully wrote code for 55% of isolated unit tests, but its success rate dropped to 28.6% when it had to deploy a real functioning backend service. Modern AI is effective at mimicking competence in a vacuum, but it crumbles when exposed to the friction of reality. Because these metrics are failing, the tech industry is moving away from trust by default. The focus is shifting to rigid containment. Loop engineering is emerging as the vital skill of the agentic era. The job is shifting to building the automated harnesses and stopping conditions that surround the AI. Financial sandboxes are also on the rise. Tools like Agent Card are issuing single-use budgets to AI agents, enforcing hard human approval gates before a machine can spend a single dollar. We are no longer treating AI as an oracle. We treat it as a volatile engine that only functions safely when restricted by human bottlenecks. This is the central paradox of the current era. Capabilities and adoption are scaling exponentially, just as our tools to evaluate them fail. We can no longer rely on a machine's self-reported confidence, its safety guardrails, or a set of easily cheated leaderboards. To survive the autonomous era, we must stop evaluating AI like a student and start engineering the constraints that keep it from burning the house down.